Hello and welcome to a mid-game impressions of Nioh 2. There will be some slight spoilers in this video, but I have no intention on going too far here. I just kind of want to show off some of the subsystems, things that I've learned from playing the game for a little while, and why I absolutely adore it, and think that some of these subsystems are some of the best that, not only the franchise, but gaming-wise, some of the best that have been done. So, Nioh, as you know, an action game, very much focused on doing damage while not taking damage. There are traps, there are characters, there are all kinds of wonderful things you can do. A bunch of different weapon types to play around with. You have ranged weapons and things like that. There's a lot of options. But Nioh 2 takes the options that Nioh 1 had and makes them even better. So, for instance, you could go with ninjutsu, which I have spec towards because I love ninjutsu in these games. I loved it in Nioh 1, and it's even better in Nioh 2. You have thrown weapons. You have literal electricity. You have Nioh magic that you can use. Let's grab. We got grabbed. This happens every time I try to just show off cool stuff. I get stopped. But that's okay, because we can just do this. So right here. And now we're not poisoned anymore. Aha. So, what makes Nioh 2 special? I'll stop playing around and we'll talk about it now. What makes Nioh 2 special? To me, it is this. So, in previous games in Nioh, and in a lot of other games, if you want to get better at something, you have to just grind out experience, right? In Nioh, if you want to get better with the tonfas, you have to use tonfas, and you earn tonfa skill points. We'll show off the meter here that you can see. The more that you use something, the better it gets. And so, for instance, my tonfas are at level 13, working on level 14. I have 52,000 proficiency in them. They're pretty solid. You can see I've used a bunch of different ones. We're getting attacked. Let's just stop this guy. We'll use some ninjutsu on him. And then we'll finish him off with a tonfa. Yep. So, as you can see, by using these different weapons, I have increased my proficiency with them and gained levels in them that I can then spend on abilities in those trees. Every playthrough then of Nioh 2 can be completely different. But you don't even have to dedicate to one weapon. All it takes is a little bit of time using that different weapon, and you're able to gain proficiency with it as well. So, for instance, I don't have any proficiency in the spear right now at all. I waited for this recording to be able to go for a spear. I have a sickle spear here. What's the best spear that I could? It's Kuroka spear. Okay. So, let's use a spear. I have no proficiency with it at all, but I have some samurai skill points that I've gained up. We'll go ahead and we'll fight this big guy with it. Get this guy out of the way here. Is it a good idea to fight an enemy you've never fought before with a weapon you haven't been using? Sure. I have ninjutsu to back me up. I can slow him down. Just like that. I still got kicked. Okay. Up. Let's go for it. Basically, what I love about Nioh 2 so far is that no matter what I do, I'm getting better at Nioh 2. Not just with my own skill points, but also just with raw ability. We go high stance. Low stance. Mid stance. High stance. There we go. And I earned a proficiency point with a spear. So now I can go in here and I can choose a level up for the spear. And each individual weapon has one of those. Then you get into ninjutsu and Nioh magic and how that works, and I'll go back to that screen in a second to show you what I mean. Let's see here. Seems cool. That's nice. That leap seems good. Oh. Shove. All right. Let's go with this. I like that thrust a lot. Let's try that real quick. Yeah, that's good. But if we go back to our status screen here, as you can see with Nioh magic, I am at level 12, and I have 40,000 proficiency. With ninjutsu, I'm at level 28, and I have 410,000 proficiency. Because I've spent so much time just using ninjutsu. And that's just a thing I can do on top of my regular build. It doesn't hurt my regular build at all to have those. Then you add in the abilities that come with your yokai, where you can use those because your anima gauge fills up. And that gives you even more options to be able to fight enemies with. Watch out of the way of that. Oh, we got hit by that. Oh, we got hit by that. We're on fire. Oh. Oh, I missed. I missed. We still hit him a little bit, though. All right, let's go. Yeah, that 5 stab's actually really good. So as you can see, at any time, if you pick up a cool new weapon that you want to use, you can switch to it. At any time at all and start using it instead. I have used axe more than I did in the previous game because there were some cool axe moves. Let's see, it's... I don't know that I actually have any unlocked for... Yeah, like, look at how cool this swing is. It leaves you way open, but again, you can just do this whenever you want because you're gaining skill levels in the weapons individually and not in... You guys alive? And not in just leveling up. Yes, because when you level up, you will get more damage with certain weapons. I have 30 dexterity, so my Kusarigama does a lot of damage. But at the same time, you can spec however you want. And because of the way that abilities work too with your equipment, you get different abilities for different equipment that allow you to focus on different builds as well. So I clearly have an untouched ninjutsu build that allows me to have more... I also have ninjutsu power, but allows me to use ninjutsu skills with a chance of not using them up. So I could use more kunai and I could use more shuriken and things like that. I love the way all of this works, where you can just switch it up as much as you want. Let's put back on our crescent moon. I used the hand axes for a very long time. Those were real. But tonfas are my go-to weapons. And because, again, you can have 2 different weapons equipped, it doesn't matter. We can just hit him. We didn't get a single proc from untouched ninjutsu there, which is really unfortunate. No proc. No proc. We got a proc. Again, I don't have a lot of untouched ninjutsu yet. I'm still looking for gear that has it. That's the only real complaint that I have with the gear, is that it sometimes can be really tough to find stuff with what you want it to have on it. But at the same time, it's just so much fun to mess around with. All these systems just support you playing however you want to play. It really doesn't feel like there's a wrong way to play Nioh 2. Whereas with Nioh 1, you kind of had to choose a weapon and stick with it. You gained more proficiency with a weapon the more that you used it, but definitely could be harder. He's going to hit me with that still. Oh, thank goodness. It definitely could be harder to get going with a new weapon if you hadn't been using it. Can hit this hot spring over here. Some health back. Get a nice little regen for a little while. Love my ninja outfit so much. It's not perfect for sure. There's stuff like that, or enemies that can just do a ton of damage to you just out of nowhere. And you still take a lot of damage, and you can't just dodge out of everything. You have to dodge at just the right time, or you don't really have iframes. Quick change. And we got a free one off of that, which is nice. Let's on Nioh. I try to use these as much as I can every single run of the shrine so that I keep leveling up my own Nioh magic. Soul Core. And I'll show off the Soul Core system in a minute too. Because I think it's really good. They did a really good job with that. Let's go ahead and up. Yep. Oh, we're getting hit. 2 of them too. Alright, we have options for that. We have a gun. That's not the kind of bullets I want to do. Actually, we need to switch to the bow. We're almost out of rounds on the gun. I'm working on an upgrade right now that'll make it where I have a chance of just getting my ammo not be spent when I miss that headshot by the smallest amount. There we go. And then again, every weapon's moveset feels very different from you. I think they did a really good job with the weapons in this game. Let's see if we can't draw him out. Get him hard there. Slow him down. Oh, he almost knocked us off! How do you feel about lightning? How do you feel about kunai? How do you feel about snakes? There we go. You may say, oh no, Trey, you're completely out of your ninjutsu though. What are you gonna do? Well, yeah, I am, but I've completely like looted this area now because of it. So I feel like it was still super worth it. I almost rolled off like a dummy. I blocked that at the last second. Blocking is very important in this game. 50. Let's go back to our Tonfa. That's my preferred weapon. But we'll go back to the shrine, and I'll show off the soul core stuff too. And then we'll probably call it, because I don't want to spoil too much of this game. But I wanted people to be able to see just how good it is. That's an archer. In case they were still on the fence about it. Oh, I ran into that like a dummy. The shrine, little buddy. Go ahead and quick change. Open this door. Already open. A dummy. Yeah, this is where we were. Okay. That's a yokai. So these ones here, when you kill them, they don't show up again. So it's normally worth it to spend whatever resources you have left trying to finish them off. So that you don't have to worry about them again. They can normally be a bit... Oh, he grabbed me anyway. I rolled instead of blocked. Again, block, don't roll. They can normally be a little bit tougher, but they also seem to have an increased chance of dropping soul cores. Oh. You gotta get in there. I'm at just curse. I'm playing terribly right now. We got him. We got him. Easy peasy. Let's just peek our head up here and make sure there's not another shrine. Because we've looted this whole area. That doesn't look like it. Okay. I can come back here later. Yeah, I think this game's really, really solid. And especially if you're one of those people that has a lot of trouble with this type of game. This one really rewards you just spending a little bit of time figuring out what you want to use, but also rewards letting you mess around and play with different builds. So I think this is a good starting point for some people. Also, because you can basically just farm whatever you want. If you want to be an Nioh magic specialist, you can farm it up, and you can get really good with it. I'll show off the ninjutsu and Nioh stuff here too. We got the app 4. Which is the shot, which is cool. You can ready your jutsu, and then you have a capacity, and then you can just ready as much as you can to fill that capacity. The only limit that you have is on your shortcuts. So once you have decided what you want to have equipped, you can do as many of those until you get to the full amount, basically, which is 3 and 10 for these two. I'm full up on them. And another thing you can do too, if you have extra, you can prepare more and then reset the shortcut if you use all of that thing so that you still have options. Like for instance, I have 2 left. I could put a flaming heron in here, and then if I use all my Raijin, then I could get a flaming heron. Oh, we have another on Nioh too. Shockwave talisman. And as you can see, these work the same way. Which is really cool. You have a capacity, and you can increase that capacity by spending more time with it. We'll show off the soul cores too. There will be some slight spoilers, so some of these are bosses. Your soul core, you have certain attunement amounts, but all of these do different things. And so yet again, it comes down to what you want from it. What are you looking for? Do you want something that allows you to turn into something and move forward? Do you want something that just hits something in front of you? Do you want an ability to petrify people? Do you want an ability that, where is it? It's right... Weller? No. The Inky. Do you want a ranged attack? Do you want an AoE? What do you want from it? And you can get something like that. And you get these just from fighting enemies, so you're going to get more of them already, which I think is really cool. There's the AoE. The more of them that you get, the more things you can do with them, obviously, because you get different abilities. You can also fuse them together to make them more powerful, or you can get rid of some of them. Like we have a bunch of Karas Tengus here. Rid of 1. From doing that, we can slightly level up our soul fragments to fill that and get another shifting level, and we can get materials that we can spend to do stuff. And then finally, the last big thing I wanted to show was in your status here. When you see all of this, you can also see your damage with from the levels. You can see how far away you are from getting different upgrades. Like the next Nioh point I get, I'm going to get this capacity by 3, which will allow me to use more Nioh magic. But you also can level up old ones to make them cost less or do more damage or anything like that, which is very useful. I have my shurikens pretty much leveled up, and I'm currently leveling up shuriken damage, so my shurikens will do even more. But they get very powerful and cost very little, which is very nice. I like this system a lot. I think it does a lot to make you feel like you are in control of the path that your character takes. Your samurai levels come from just leveling up, and then your shiftling levels come from having various abilities from the soul cores. But let's show off the shift. That's the last thing we'll do. We'll show off a yokai shift. I don't use it as often as I should, but ever since I got the quick change scroll, I kind of stopped dying too, because you can come back from death once, which is very good. Then go ahead and slow him down. He's going to hit me anyway, but he's slowed down now, which is what's important. Let's heal up a little bit, and then we'll shift. Because he's slowed down, go ahead and slow him down again since we healed up. Do this big swinging attack here, and we'll shift. And in yokai shift, you attack with your weapon of choice here, and you have your big hit with it that I didn't get in time. But as you can see, your yokai meter goes out as you attack, as you dodge, as you block, as you use abilities. So it burns out pretty quickly, honestly, and you kind of have to be careful with it. But it also burns out when you take damage, and the benefit of that is that you can't die while you have your yokai shift on. You can be knocked out of your yokai shift, and then you can be killed by a next attack. But you can't die while you're in yokai shift, which is very useful, especially during boss fights when you need a second to get a boss off of you. It gives you just another option, and that's really what Nioh 2 comes down to for me, is options, 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 options. With all that said, I've been Trey. This has been the Full Spectrum. Obviously, I'll come back when I've completely beaten the game to have some thoughts on it then too. But until next time, remember to always enjoy the full spectrum that Nioh 2 has to offer.